Good morning, teacher. I'm Saul Guadarrama and I belong to the team 2, along with Guillermo Sanchez and Christian Salomon, in group 3013. Today we will talk about Greek culture. Everyone has heard something about this famous culture. It could be from hearing something about famous Greek philosophers of many years ago, even some story of the Greek mythological gods, such as the well-known Zeus. Now we will explore and learn more than about this great culture of this country.
The customs of the Greek. The Greek people are deeply rooted in their own customs and tradition, especially in the island areas of the countries, where these customs and traditions have been passed from generation to generation through gastronomy, literature, folklore, and art.
Now the arts. Mythical tales play an important role in most of the, all genres of the Greek literature. Despite this, the only conserved general mythological graphic manual from Greek antiquity was the Mythological Library of Pseudo-Polydorus. This work attempts to reconcile the conflicting of the stories of the poets and provides a great summary of traditional Greek mythology and the Greek legends. Based on the beliefs of these gods, some works are of art are dedicated to them, such as of many temples, sculptures, ceramics, etc. Greek art is highly influenced by philosophy in addition to religion. Among the various of works of the art, we find some the most recognized gods among among which Zeus and Athena stand out. Among his most recognized gods is Venus of the night, Apollorus, the Discobolo, Aphrodite of Nilo, and many more. This is an extremely ancient and interesting culture, since many of his works were dedicated to the warriors of the ancient Greeks as the Spartans. Interestingly, the Spartans were the only warriors stood in the defense line of the ancient Greece. Now, I am going to talk about the Greek mythology. The Greek mythology is a series of explanations that the inhabitants of the ancient Greece had to understand the world and that surrounded them. They were beliefs that the Greeks have about aspects such as the creation of the universe, the origin of the man, human intelligence, the feeling, the love, and the war, and so on. All the conditional of the human being were explained in these myths that brought together the Greek gods who lived on the Olympus and were in charge of managing of everything that happened in the world. Some of the most important gods are Zeus, god of the sky, the highest ghost of the Olympus, Hera, the wife of Zeus, Hephaestus, god of fire, Apollo is the protector of the music and the medicine, Aphrodite, goddess of beauty, Hades, the god of the dead, Poseidon, the god of the sea, Hermes, messenger of the god, Athena, goddess of the wisdom among others. Most of those mentioned are sons of Zeus.
The history. The, the Hellenic civilization of the ancient Greece spread strong the Balkan Peninsula. The outline of the Aegean Sea of the coast of the Anatolian Peninsula in the present-day Turkey constitute the city called Hellas. Western civilization had a strong development in the philosophic field. It is often considered the cradle of the Western civilization. Science is great thinkers were this one these ones who developed the first concept of the philosophy and the more with was the concept of the physics or of the atom with a with the division, and this is the first art example to characterization be the construction of temples with large pillars on globe and roofs. The gastronomy of the Greece. The gastronomy of the Greece is the cuisine and the culinary arts practice by the people of the Greece given the geography, the history of the Greece, the cooking style in the typical Mediterranean white techniques and ingredients shared white Italy, Middle Eastern cuisine, and the cuisine from the Balkans, the best known did in great cuisine and in the countries of the art of the mess, as it for ours to breeze or starters. Generally served white also the best known of the dishes of the Greek restaurant. Besides the wind of the bear, also and the metaxa are great drinks of the international renown.
Other custom in Greece is breaking plates in a big celebrations. At weddings and other events in Greece, it's very common to dishes to be drawn on the ground. This history is for the Greeks and a way to expressing joy, and it is done at wedding in also fulfills the function of warding of evil spirits to protect the new weight. The Carnival in styles. Carnival is a holiday that is celebrated in the style of the Greece, since it begins then weeks before Orthodox Easter and lasts for several days. In some cities like Patras, there is a it great parade as one of the best carnivals in the world. And in other likes Galaxy, the floor wars of the Alexandropolemos takes place. Philosophy of the Greek arts most interesting is the Greek philosophy focus on the role of the reasons and logic. Many philosophers today acknowledge the Greek philosophy has shaped Western thought since indeed inceptions. As Alfred Whitehead once said, Western philosophy is just a series of footnotes from Plato. Clear lines of Greek philosophical thought reached medieval Islamic philosophers up to the European Renaissance and Enlightenment. Mm. Some claim that Greek philosophy, its turn, was influenced by the literature and mythology of the ancient Near East. Some of the greatest thinkers of the ancient world are in the Greece, in particular from Athens. Mm. Philosophy or love of wisdom was his way of seeking truth and reality in the world more worldwide, depending on the answer given by religion or mythology. The superstitions, the evil eye in the Greece. The Greeks are also somewhat superstitious, especially those who live in the small towns and rural areas. In fact, they often believe in the evil of the martisma, which is created out of a person envy and causes discomfort. They wait to prevent the floor war or the prevent the evil eyes into always wear a blue amulet. In conclusion, we have chosen this topic since from the beginning of entire high school we have the matter of Greco-Latin etymologies, which did not give a glimpse of the culture and race, and currently in the matter of history we are seeing what ancient Greek was and how it was his history with the gods. And after all that we decide the Greece will be our demo for the project, because we have found it very interesting and we believe in the believe that very little was now about this culture have.